How's everyone doing on this lovely cold fall day? So I am jumping on to kind of talk about a process that I see a lot of kids go through. So usually, where does it all start with? And that usually starts with ear infections. All right. So a kid gets an ear infection, and then what happens is they go to, the parent takes them to their pediatrician. And what pediatricians are taught to do is give an antibiotic. Even if they don't know it's a bacterial infection, they're going to give them an antibiotic. And then what happens is the ear infection kind of helps or goes away, gets better, and then the kid gets another ear infection. So they go back to the pediatrician and they get another antibiotic. And this process repeats a couple times to a point where obviously antibiotics aren't truly addressing the issue. So what is their next step is sending the kid and the parent to the ear, nose, and throat doc. And that's where then it's recommended that they get tubes. So what happens is they drill a hole in the barrier between the outer ear and the inner ear. And so now we have an open hole in the ear. So what that does is it creates pressure to force down the fluid that's built up into the ear. Again, you're artificially addressing the issue, but you're not truly addressing the underlying cause to it. So what happens is yeah, the kid's ear infections get somewhat better. The body kicks out the tubes, and now the kid has ear infections again. May not be as often, but they do. And then what happens is this is a lot of stress for that kid's immune system, which is most likely not working properly in the first place, and they get inflammation of their adenoids and tonsils. Okay? So then that may be that their tonsils and adenoids get inflamed for quite a while, and they get pretty big. And when that occurs, it's not that the adenoids and tonsils are bad or that they need to be removed. That's an indication that their immune system is so suppressed that the adenoids and tonsils can't do what they're actually supposed to do, and that's help fight anything that is addressed through the body that should be a foreign object. So what happens is they recommend taking the tonsils and the adenoids out, which to me is a bad and a poor choice, because tonsils and adenoids are actually first line of defense, and they're a big part of the immune system. And it's not really, that's not fixing the cause. That's, again, addressing and just removing a symptom. So what happens is, again, tonsils, adenoids get removed, and then a chain reaction keeps on occurring. So now what happens is they may still get some ear infections because, again, tonsils and adenoids removed didn't help all that much. And now they start developing bigger issues like asthma. All right. So repetitive use of antibiotics, and even before the age of 1, antibiotic use before the age of 1 increases the chance of asthma by 4 times. So now the kid has dealt with multiple ear infections, multiple doses of antibiotics, probably a couple sets of tubes, removed the tonsils and adenoids, and now they're starting to develop asthma. And doctor may tell you that has nothing to do with the ear infections. And that's completely wrong. It actually is completely related to the ear infections. It's just a chain reaction. Ear infections may end up starting to go away, but the ear infections turn into asthma or upper respiratory infections, strep, all these other chain reactions, because the body is connected as a whole. And what's never been done in usually these situations is all they've done is chase symptoms, chase that ear infection, chase why the tonsils and adenoids are inflamed. So let's remove them. Again, that's just chasing symptoms. What they're missing is changing or addressing the cause of the ear infections. And what we find is that it is a blockage or a drainage issue that's causing that. So until we address that drainage issue with ear infections, nothing gets better. And we just put our kids through a whole lot more stress than was actually needed for that. So if you want to find out more information and why we see such great results with ear infections on a daily basis, then register for the talk down below. I'm going to be covering all of this information and so much more, and providing answers for you on why this is occurring. So register down below. I attached the link, and then everyone have a great day, stay warm, and we'll talk to you soon.